Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Jaya Kishore Kishori, 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 Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra, Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Jaya Gauranita, 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 Jaya Gauranita. Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Bhakta Prahlad, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Bhakta Prahlad, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Bhakta Prahlad, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Bhakta Prahlad. Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Bhakta Hanuman, Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Bhakta Hanuman, Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Bhakta Hanuman, Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Bhakta Hanuman. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai. बढ़ गया Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Huh? Just remove it? No? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Helps. Was he singing without amplification? It was plugged in, then you unplugged it. This morning I was listening to Srila Prabhupada explain. He was covering many topics, and it was amazing how he went from this to that to the other and stitched it all together and didn't get lost. It was amazing. So he was speaking about the deity form of the Lord, and then he started speaking about picture of the Lord, and then the deity form is not different than the person. The picture is not different than the person. Don't think otherwise. And then he launched into the Shakshi Gopal story. And impeccable from Chaitanya Charitamrita, step by step by step. And then he tied it back into the picture form of the Lord. So here's a picture form of Radharaman. And don't think, this is Prabhupada this morning, don't think the picture is just a picture. He can talk with you. He can everything in person. So yesterday was Purnima, and those of you that are with us the last while, we spent some time discussing the Purnima events that all took place, but one of them we didn't discuss, which was the appearance of Sri Syamananda Pandit. So that's what today's topic is, covering something from yesterday, because yesterday was a busy day, topic-wise. A little bit appreciation, first general appreciation. Following Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance, the continuation of the transcendental wave of ecstasy and joy and teachings and so forth and so on was primarily accomplished by the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. Uniquely, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu only visited Vrindavan once, and the rest of the time, at his mother's request, he's in Puri, which facilitated his mood of love and separation. We talked a little bit about yesterday's love and separation. And so the Leela was to facilitate love and separation, and without easy to get lost in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's love and separation, and the Rath Yatra festival commemorating Krishna going back to meet with the residents of Vrindavan in Kurukshetra and all those nice things. But transcendental love in the mood of Radharani's love and separation from Krishna. I mean, it doesn't get higher than that. And that was continued by the 6 Goswamis. And especially the youngest, or second youngest amongst the 6 Goswamis, Jiva Goswami, preserved the teachings of his two elder brothers, or uncles, Rupa and Sanatan. Jiva Goswami continued, and Jiva Goswami then very, very wonderfully, in addition to all of the writing that he did to preserve in such amazing detail, the teachings of Srimad Bhagavatam, the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, etc., etc. He then passed it on to the next generation, and one of them is Syamananda Pandit. Srinivasacharya, Syamananda Pandit. So those who continued the line of disciplic succession, Syamananda Pandit is one. Very important continuation of disciplic succession. And wait till you hear about his life. He's an otherworldly person. In Vrindavan, there's a temple of a deity named after Syamananda Pandit, Shyamasundar. This is the deity of Shyamasundar. And there's a festival day and holding different instruments for their playful activities, Radha and Krishna. Go visit Vrindavan for a little bit. very wonderfully dressed. These aren't of the original 6 Goswami deities, but very celebrated worship of this deity. And here's a close-up of Shyamasundara. Now, in the pastime of Syamananda Pandit, he was given deities. He was given deities of Radha Krishna by Radharani. I'll say it again. In the spiritual world, in Goloka Vrindavan, he was transported there. And Radharani gave him these deities, and they're being worshipped today. Sri Lalalali. And here's a close-up of this beautiful deity. He spent some time, as did many of the Goswamis and their associates, in Radhakund, and this is a place where he did some worship. Here's a close-up of the deities that he worshipped. And here's the deity, because this is winter time, so they're nice bundled up deities. And then another close-up of the deities. And this was where he sat. And this little photograph of a painting indicates one of the main pastimes connected with Syamananda. He's finding an ankle ornament of Radharani. So we'll get there. A little background of where he came from. One of the places near Navadvip, along the bank of the Ganges, is a place named Ambika Kalna. Many of you have perhaps visited there. There's very, very tall and transcendently wonderful deities of Gaur-Nitai that were given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda to Goridas Pandit. The history goes like this. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had decided to take sannyas, and his reasons were given to Nityananda, Nityananda broke down and started crying. And he knew Nimai Pandit was determined, and sure enough, he took sannyas. Nimai Pandit then decided he would inform, according to the biographies, a handful, that means 5. And one of those persons who he informed how dear was Goridas Pandit, because Nimai Pandit informed Goridas, I'm going to take sannyas, before he took sannyas. And Goridas had this, he was elder, and he had a particular kind of relationship with Nimai Pandit where he said, you can't do this. You can't do this. I don't give you my permission. You can't do this. So because he was adamant and the affection between the two was so strong, Nimai Pandit then conceded, very well, I will provide you a pair of deities of Lord Nityananda and myself, and you can worship them, and when you see the deity, you'll see me. So he manifested these deities, doesn't describe how he did it. He manifested these deities, and then said, see you later. And the deities were placed on the altar. As you see them, they're standing on the altar. And you know the celebrated story. Goridas said, wait a minute, if this deity is not different than you, then you stay, and the deity can go. You know the story. And so Lord Chaitanya or Nimai Pandit smiled and said, very well, and the deities got off the altar and started going for the gate. And Nimai Pandit and Nityananda stood on the altar. And then Goridas said, no, the deities can stay and you can go, and back and forth several times, and he realized they were not different. That's a nice story. Very tall deity, very powerful, very, very personal deity, personable. We'll hear more. So, in course of time, Goridas Pandit, Nimai, left, accepted sannyas, etc., etc. And he, Goridas, became a guru. And he named his first disciple Chaitanya Das. And nice name for a first disciple, Chaitanya Das. And on one occasion, Goridas was out of town when it was the occasion of the appearance day of Nimai Pandit or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So his disciple, Chaitanya Das, decided to have a big Gaur Purnima festival and advertised, and it was a big deal. Gaur Purnima festival. And when Goridas Pandit came back and found out that his disciple Chaitanya Das had arranged his festival, he was happy and not happy. You did all this without consulting me, and this isn't good. And but it's wonderful. It'd be wonderful to honor the appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, organized by Chaitanya Das. And so there's in Ambika Kalna, there's still the place where these deities are, and then you go out the gate, make a left-hand turn, and there's a big plaza, and underneath there's a big tree at one end of the big plaza. So that's where the festival was. And the festival was going on, and big kirtan, and Ra, 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 Hare Krishna kirtan. And it became so ecstatic that the deities got off the altar and were going to head down to where the big festival was. And Goridas saw them going. And so he chased the deity with a stick. Get back on the altar, it's time for your offering. So they ran. And he ran after them with his stick, waving his stick. And they ran, and as if afraid of Goridas, they entered the heart of Chaitanya Das. And Goridas didn't know what to do. And so from that day, he became known as Hriday Chaitanya. Hriday Chaitanya eventually became matured, and in course of time, Hriday Chaitanya, he accepted a disciple. Hriday Chaitanya or Hridayananda, both names are for the same person. He became the Diksha Guru of yet another personality, Krishna Das. Now, Krishna Das has a nice, Krishna Das became Syamananda. So Krishna Das was born of a mother and father who some number of children, shortly after they were born, they died. And so they prayed to the Supreme Lord, if this son does survive, the next son, then we'll call him Duki, because then it'll ward away our distress of having lost several sons. And so he survived. So that became his name, Duki. There's an interesting name, Duki. When Duki received Diksha from Hriday Chaitanya or Hridayananda, he named him Duki Krishna Das, or became known as Duki Krishna. He was Krishna Das, but then his celebrated name was Duki Krishna Das. So Duki Krishna Das was a Brahmin son and very elevated, so elevated that Hriday Chaitanya felt to educate him properly, he should become a student of Jiva Goswami, most erudite amongst the predecessor acharyas. So he, Hriday Chaitanya, sent his disciple, Krishna Das or Duki Krishna Das, to go to Vrindavan to become enrolled in Jiva Goswami's school. How'd you like to be enrolled in Jiva Goswami's school? Shoo-wee. So he was really happy, and his guru was very happy. So there's a lengthy description in his biography of the places he went. He didn't just go straight to Vrindavan. He passed through Navadvip. He visited the house of Jagannath Mishra. He met old Ishan, who was the servant of Jagannath Mishra. He then went to Gaya, where the place where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu received Diksha from his spiritual master, Ishwara Puri. And he saw Vishnu's footprint. All these things are described in his journey to Vrindavan. He went to Benares, or Kashidham, where he met Tapan Mishra, Chandrasekhar, and many other devotees. He is getting loaded up with ecstasy on his way to Vrindavan. And then, before he went to Vrindavan, he went to Mathura. He took bath in Vishram Ghat on the bank of the river Yamuna. He took darshan of the deity of Adikeshava, very celebrated deity in Mathura, and became filled with prema, and eventually he reached Vrindavan. And when he reached Vrindavan, he made a beeline for Jiva Goswami's residence. This is a nice painting. There's the two other students that were already there, Narottam Das and Srinivas, great personalities. They were direct students of Jiva Goswami. And here's Duki Krishna Das taking shelter of Jiva Goswami, and Jiva Goswami then engages him, sent by Hriday Chaitanya, very celebrated Vaishnava of his time, to be his student. So now instead of two, he has three. And here's their names. In case you read Sanskrit, there's the three names. And he, Jiva Goswami, accepted the responsibility of training all three in the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, so they could continue the lineage of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu following him. Now, Duki Krishna Das, amongst other qualifications, he was highly intelligent and learned quickly from Jiva Goswami. He also had a nice mood of service. So he requested, Jiva Goswami, is there some service that he could do, some simple service? And Jiva Goswami then suggested, yes, where the temple of the Radha Damodar temple was in a much larger area called Sevakunj. You know that Sevakunj. What does that mean to you, Sevakunj? It's a place one of the places where Krishna performed rasa dance. The Radha Damodar temple is in what was the larger area of Sevakunj. So Jiva Goswami gave him the service. There's a nice place where in the dead of night, in the moonlight, the full moon nights, Radha and Krishna engage in rasa dance, and you can go there and make the place very clean. Here's a broom. Here's the utensils for making the place clean. Make the place very clean. So every day he would go make the place very clean. And one fine day when he was cleaning, he found an ankle ornament. The ankle ornament, as soon as he touched it, he felt his whole body becoming spiritually surcharged. So he knew this is not an ordinary ankle ornament that somebody just happened to lose. He put it in the ground. He buried it so that later he could find out who was the owner of this ankle ornament. This is not a, the behind is the deity of Radharani, and at the feet of Radharani is a superimposed, digitally, is the ankle ornament, golden, in the Rasa Mandala area. And this is a picture today of the Seva Kunj. The Seva Kunj area today is walled in, the part that remains. And as you see, the trees are very interestingly shaped and very, very old. And it is said they lock the gate. They don't let anybody stay there. If anybody somehow tries to hide themselves, they go crazy at night. So it's not advised to go crazy. And they don't allow people anyways. So some time passed. And as you see this nice painting, this is from Sataputta wrote a book, or he explained this pastime. In the upper left, he finds the ankle ornament. In the lower left, there's this old Brijbasi lady that, in a creaky voice, I heard that you're clean here every day. Did you happen to find an ankle ornament? Who are you? I'm here on behalf of the lady who lost this ankle ornament. Did you find one? Yeah, but who are you and who does this ankle ornament belong to? And the old lady then transformed herself into a young gopi, who is pictured on the right. Compliments of Sataputta and his little illustration of this pastime. And so the young girl said, let me take you to the place of the owner. And transcendentally, through time and space, Duki Krishna Das was transformed into a gopi form or a manjari form, brought before Srimati Radharani, and the ankle ornament was in her hand, and she gave the ankle ornament to Radharani. And once Radharani had the ankle ornament, Radharani placed the ankle ornament on her forehead and said, from this day, you'll be known as Syamananda. So she, Diksha, didn't say she gave mantra, but she gave name and a mark of tilak. So two things, tilak and a name. And so thank you for bringing the ankle ornament. You can go back and continue your service with Jiva Goswami in Vrindavan. Haribol, see you later. And so that's what happened. Syamananda was in a gopi form, now returns back to Vrindavan, and Duki Krishna Das is now Syamananda Das. He's had his name changed a few times. Diksha by Hriday Chaitanya, now some initiation by Radharani. And when the followers of Hriday Chaitanya, so Ambika Kalna is way over in the eastern part, in Vrindavan is the north central part of India, and some residents of Ambika Kalna came to visit Vrindavan. When they came to visit Vrindavan, they met their godbrother, who's no longer Duki Krishna Das, but he's going by the name Syamananda. What happened? And now he doesn't have the same tilak, he has a different tilak. What happened? Psst, 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 psst. Speculation and rumor. Psst, psst, psst. So they went back and told their guru, Hridaya Chaitanya, do you know what happened? You sent Duki Krishna Das to Vrindavan, and you know what? Jiva Goswami apparently gave him another name and another tilak. Hridaya Chaitanya was livid, so he consulted the other senior Vaishnavas in the whole of Navadvip, and they said, you should go and confront Jiva Goswami to see if this actually happened. So instead of confronting Jiva Goswami, he confronted his disciple. Tell me what happened. You have a different tilak, and you're now Syamananda. You're not Duki Krishna Das anymore. Tell me what happened. So the answer that he gave, Syamananda gave, was, I need some time to give a proper answer. He said, very good. I want a proper answer. And so the way the narration of his life goes, he was feeling, he was told, this is important, he was told by Radharani not to tell anybody. I forgot to tell that part. But he had to tell Jiva Goswami, so he told Jiva Goswami. But he can't tell anybody what happened. So what to do. Hridaya Chaitanya is challenging him, confronting him, considering Jiva Goswami as most elevated. How could an elevated Vaishnava do this? So he sat in a trance of meditation, and second time he was transported in his gopi form to the side of Srimati Radharani, crying, as you see in the painting up above, crying. That there's, on the right side, that's Hridaya Chaitanya, looks a little grumpy, and there's Syamananda, his disciple, and then there's thousands and thousands, a big assembly of Hridaya Chaitanya's followers that want a proper answer. So he's in a fix. Radharani said, don't tell. So I can't tell, but I have to tell. Now what to do? So, transported second time to the presence of Srimati Radharani, and crying, and Srimati Radharani said, this is the reply that you should give to Hridaya Chaitanya. This all happened in a dream. This all happened in a dream. And if he says, how do I know this happened in a dream? You can say, if my tilak washes off, then you can accuse me of wrongdoing. But if it happened in a dream and the tilak doesn't wash off, then please accept it. So Hridaya Chaitanya said, fine. So in addition to Radharani giving this instruction how to answer Hridaya Chaitanya, in addition to the tilak, Radharani gave Syamananda this deity that we saw the photograph of. So now he's transported back to Vrindavan with a deity. Not only tilak in a name, and no, he changed back from a sari to nice brahmachari cloth. And so he informed Hridaya Chaitanya, coming out of trance of meditation, this is what happened, and it happened in a dream, and if you can wash off the tilak, then I'll stand accused, but it won't wash off. He just trusted what Radharani said. So sure enough, when Hridaya Chaitanya said, very well, and he tried to wash off the tilak and it wouldn't wash off. So Hridaya Chaitanya accepted. This happened in a dream. Jiva Goswami hasn't made an offense. You, as my disciple, haven't made an offense. And so they all lived happily ever after. the crisis at that moment was now finished. The place where he found the ankle ornament, no, it didn't look like this long ago, but in recent times, they made this little shrine to indicate the place where he found the ankle ornament. And again, here's the deity that was given to him. Hriday Chaitanya went back to Ambika Kalna, and everyone was fine for at least for a while. Then continuing those three, who's the names of the three? Do you remember the names of the three that were Jiva Goswami's disciples? Syamananda's one. I'm going to leave him on the hot seat for a minute. He wants to volunteer the answer. Can you remember? Narottam Das Thakur. That's two. Syamananda, Narottam Das Thakur. The other one starts with an S. Go ahead. Who's the third one? Srinivasacharya. They're next in line. The way that these disciplic succession members are identified as the most prominent doesn't mean like everyone else was having a siesta. That just these most especially prominent persons. So Narottam, Syamananda, Srinivasacharya. Very important personalities to continue. Fortunately, contemporary with all of them was Janava. Janava, the wife of Nityananda. And Janava made a request of Jiva Goswami, please send your three disciples to Bengal. And while you're at it, please make copies of all the Goswami literature and send all the Goswami literature in a bullock cart to Bengal and spread Krishna consciousness, not just in Vrindavan, but, every town and village, particularly Bengal.